In three, two, one. Welcome to the Real Spicy Podcast. My name is Pedro, and thank you so much for listening to another week of us talking that boo. What's good, guys? So this is my first episode that I record where I'm just me solo. And for the most part, I've had guests each and every week, which I still do. But I was like, you know what? Let's spice it up a little bit. Let's change it up a little bit. And also prove to myself that I can kind of hold it down by myself. For the most part, when I made this podcast, I actually practiced by myself in my room, and I recorded myself just having random monologues. Reason is because I wanted to be able to speak, So I remember once when I walked into a debate class, and all these people were just reading out loud really fast. They were just like really, really fast, just mumbling, practicing on how to talk really fast. And so I kind of remember that. So I was like, you know what? How are we going to get better at talking? We have to talk more. Just because you're good at talking or you like to talk. Wait, hold on. That does not make sense. Just because you like to talk doesn't mean you're good at talking. And that's me. I love to talk, but I'm not very good at talking because I lose my train of thought. I'm thinking about one thing and then I'm thinking about another thing, and it's just really hard for me to focus on the first thing. So I go on to the second thing, and sometimes maybe talking about the fourth or fifth thing. So I have that tendency. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for everyone that's been listening on the podcast, both on the audio and video. But we got Apple, Spotify, and Google. Yo, it's been a huge success. I'm very thankful. I coughed. It's the Rona. No. Jokes aside. But no, guys, I'm really excited for this. I think, like I said, this has been a project that's taken longer than expected. I didn't just come up with like, yo, I want to do a podcast. Fuck it, I'm going to do it next week. Nah, this was every year. So this is how I'm going to put it. Every year I have a New Year's resolution. Since I started my New Year's resolutions, I think every year we have the same one: lose weight, do this, better myself, blah, blah, blah. Do we actually do it? More than likely, probably not. The year after I graduated college, I decided to go and actually, all right, you know what? My New Year's resolution, I'm going to actually do it. And I want to travel. But not only am I going to travel, but I'm going to lose 100 pounds. Cool. I did that. And I got to travel around the U.S. That was my main thing. I just wanted to go to different cities. So your boy went to Atlanta, Indianapolis, Chicago, Seattle, Portland, Phoenix, Dallas, Houston, Austin, all these great cities throughout the U.S. And I fulfill this New Year's resolution while also maintaining weight loss. The second year, I was like, you know what? I want to continue traveling, but let's change it up. I want to travel for wrestling, that pro wrestling stuff, the fake stuff that most people, don't you know that's fake? No shit. I know it's fake, but it's entertaining. So I did that. I went to a couple of New Japan Pro Wrestling shows in San Francisco, Long Beach, because at the time they kind of had them only on the West Coast. Obviously, I went to WWE shows, which is like the one that everyone knows. I went to a couple of Ring of Honor shows. I also went to the famous All In, which was the biggest independent pro wrestling show of all time. I went to that in Chicago. The third year, I said, you know what? I'm going to travel again. This time, we going to be Mr. International. I'm not Mr. International. I just went to a couple countries. Not compared to my first guest, Tabitha, who went to a ton of countries. I forgot how much the number was, like 19 or maybe over 20. Oh, I got to go watch it. Actually, I believe it's over 20. But I decided to travel international. And also, I switched it up. We're going to travel for soccer. Oh, hell yeah. So I went, again, to a lot of states and cities because the the Mexican national team travels to the U.S. Again, it's mostly for money. I mean, they could have easily played in Mexico, but they know that Americans, especially Mexican Americans, will pay the big bucks for them. So they're always here in the U.S. So I went to every game that was here in the U.S., especially because at that time was the Gold Cup. I went to every single game except the final for the Gold Cup, which was in Chicago. I'm kind of sad about that one. I went to every single Mexico game except that one. But I also went to, I went to Germany, I went to France, and I went to London. I went to Mexico countless times. I went to the Bahamas. It was a blast, and I got to live my New Year's resolution. So this year came up, and I was like, all right, I'm broke, so I probably should not be traveling so much. Let's tone it down. But I want to get into the audio-visual realm. At one point, back when I first started kind of like wanting to be an entertainer, I did stand-up comedy. Wow, I almost sounded like I was from like the Midwest. Comedy. Right? Midwest? Yeah, somewhere from Kansas. Wherever the fuck that is. But I decided to do comedy. Sketch comedy was my favorite. The fact that you can improv and do jokes on the spot. And just, you get a prop here and then you kind of make a skit out of it. That was my favorite thing. I love that style of comedy. Not the improv so much, but the sketch comedy, making sketch videos on YouTube. And I didn't make it very big. But that wasn't my point. I just loved it, but it's very time consuming. Hence why I didn't pursue it. So I dabbled a little bit with stand-up comedy. I got a big push from it. But that's the story for another day. And I didn't, I missed that. I was like, I miss making videos. I miss having a platform, having the stage, having a mic in my hand. My New Year's resolution is to get back into audio visual. How the hell am I going to do it? Homie don't got time to do sketch comedy videos. Plus, those don't get a lot of views. They're also very time consuming. And if you do it the right way, well, not the right way, but the professional way, they cost a lot of money. I was like, all right, cool. I'm going to change it up. What about a podcast? So I thought about it, and it was the first week of January. I'm like, what about a podcast? I already listened to a lot. Maybe I should do one. I didn't really make up my mind, so I gave it about a week. I was like, you know what? I should probably do a podcast. This was the third week of January. Okay, let's do a fucking podcast. Let's do this. Wow, I'm cussing a little bit too much today. Sorry about that, guys. So I was like, you know what? Let's do a podcast. I did it. I didn't do it, but I came up with the idea to create a podcast. Okay, what is this going to be about? Crap. I love pro wrestling. Yes, I know. Again, the fake stuff. I love the pro wrestling stuff. But there's a lot of those online, and it's such a specific community that I'm not trying to dabble in because it's already saturated. That community, in my opinion, is very saturated. So I'm like, wrestling is fun and all, but I kind of want to broaden my audience. Cool. Let's talk about traveling. I haven't been really, I travel quite a bit, but it's nothing big. I have great stories, but I think I have stories for about 14 episodes, and then I think the series would be over. Okay. I'm not really into sports unless it's Club America. If you know what that is, it's a Mexican soccer team. All right, that's not going to work because I'm not like the stereotypical man who likes their basketball and football. I'm just not like that, So I started thinking, all right, you know what? I do like to talk. I like to meet new people. Okay, what if I have people on the podcast and I get to interview them and it's just like a social commentary podcast? Okay, cool. And I already listened to a couple podcasts that kind of already do that. I listen to the Genius Brain podcast with David So, and every week he has guests. And he talks about their story, what they do. If there's a subject that's trending, they'll talk about that. Usually, again, it's social commentary, or he gets to interview them and know a little bit about them and share their story. I was like, cool. I like that. Then I also listen to the No Chaser podcast, which is very similar. They talk about not social. They talk about current events, trending events, and they, again, showcase people's lives. And I'm like, okay. Well, I know a lot of great people from my time at school, through networking events. I'm like, this would be a really good idea. Let me give the people that don't have a platform a platform. And I'm not saying that my platform is big, but it's a platform nonetheless. So I was like, all right, cool. Let's do that. Cool. I got the idea. And this is already like the first week of February. Okay. Got the idea. What the hell am I going to call it? And I had no idea. Okay, well, I want my show to be unique. I want it to have a unique name. If I call it Gil's Podcast, come on, guys. I mean, that's super generic and it's very, I don't know. It's just not me. It doesn't pop, Or, I don't know, something with my name. I was like, no, I want it to be a brand. So I think I was eating something and I forgot where I went. But I remember I ordered food and I was like, hey, make sure it's real spicy. I like my shit real spicy. I think I was at a Thai restaurant and the lady was like, okay, cool, whatever. And I'm like, real spicy. Sounds like a pretty interesting name. And I never thought about it. Whatever. My whole thing was I wanted to pay homage to Eddie Guerrero. So I was like, yo, let's call it Latino Heat. Then I'm like, I'm really cutting my audience down because if you hear the word Latino Heat, that's probably about Latino issues and he's probably going to talk Spanish. I was like, yeah, I don't want people thinking those thoughts. Not that they're bad, but again, I'm making my audience smaller. All right, cool. Not that. What about Can You Feel the Heat? Actually, that sounds good. I looked it up. It doesn't exist. Can You Feel the Heat is a quote that Eddie Guerrero used to say, and especially on his shirt. But then it was like, can you stand the heat? I was like, yo, even better. Eddie Guerrero has that. I was like, yo, that's perfect. Then I started writing it down. I'm like, yo, this is too long. I think a name should be 2 or 3 words at most. That's not going to work. And then I think what took it for me was my dad. He has a green thumb. He likes to plant things, and we grow 2 things. It's either peppers or savila, which is called aloe vera. Sorry, as you can tell, I'm Hispanic, so sometimes I forget. But it's called aloe vera or savila, for those that speak Spanish. And I looked at the peppers, and I'm like, why the hell am I not calling this Real Spicy? I love spicy foods, and we're going to have some spicy conversations. Then I started having a bunch of puns in my head. I'm like, okay, maybe that's a little too much, but Real Spicy sounds good. I can brand it. It's short and simple. And then when I do brand it, I can put myself on there, but not part of the title. Hence why it's called the Real Spicy Podcast, or just Real Spicy. If you ever go, if you Google it, it's just called Real Spicy. Hosted by Pedro, which is me. So that's how I came up with this idea. And I'm so thankful that I have had a lot of people listen to this. And I've got to share a lot of, to date, I have more, but as of right now, released, I've had 6 episodes, right? I think it's 6 episodes, and each episode is something new, and I love it. Everyone has such a unique story, and getting to share that story with y'all and you guys listening to it, because I may not have like 1,000 people listening to it. Like, I know where I stand, but at the same time, the fact that there's a few people out there that are listening, that's a huge, not honor. What's the word? I'm just very appreciative the fact that you guys are listening. But I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about today, about past episodes, and kind of do a little rundown, because this is new to me, and I want to get to, for those that are listening, and I want to get to know you guys, who are my audience. Are you guys even listening? Because, actually, I take that back. I know you guys are listening, because I actually had a couple people hit me up. Hey, I like what you're doing. Hey, you should change this. You should change that. Hey, you should add intro music. You should do this. Cool. All right. Thank you. These are the advice, the constructive criticism that I think every individual should receive, because nothing in this world is going to be perfect the first time. And if it is, congratulations, because that doesn't, that rarely happens. But I'm very appreciative. I welcome all the constructive criticisms that I've gotten, and I've gotten to learn, gotten to, wow, I can't even talk right now. Wow. Like, check it out, dog. Actually, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I feel more comfortable talking in my stereotypical cholo voice. Like, yo, what's up, dog? You feel me, dog? You're like, oh, sorry. I'm telling you guys, I can just switch it up. But I like I said, what was I? Oh, I appreciate the constructive criticisms. If you watch on YouTube, hey, smash that like button, which is the thumbs up. If you're watching on YouTube, the thumbs up. Comment down below on YouTube, and if you're listening to it on Apple Podcasts, hey, it would really help me out if you rate it 5 stars, or just be honest. You know what? Fuck it. Rate me whatever you want. Just rate me. That's all I would really appreciate. And then leave a comment, like, what would you like to see? Is there something different that you would like to see? Just, give me your advice that you would give me. If you like something, hey, comment it. Because at the end of the day, I read them all. It's not that I get hundreds and thousands that I might miss a comment. No, I'm going to read them all. The first episode, that was an interesting for me. Like I said, I love to talk. Am I good at it? A little bit. Now I am, I think. Am I the best at it? Absolutely not. But I've come to realize that I may be good at monologues and talking and just going on conversations. But interviewing is a whole different beast of its own. I came in that episode so confident. And I left that episode like, oh my God, what did I do? Oh my God, that was rough. Because interviewing is a whole different ball game. It's a lot more complicated than I thought. So I came into this interview mentally prepared, and I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna ask that, and then once you're in the flow of things, I lost my train of concentration. I lost the questions that I had prepared, so I had to improvise. And towards the end, we played a little game that's actually really popular in Mexico. It's like 1,000 questions in under 5 minutes. So I was like, yo, let me add this to this podcast. I kind of wanted to keep that going, but then I'm like, you know what? I think I used that because I panicked and I use it as filler. So let's not do that. Let's just have amazing content, regardless of how long the episode is going to be, as long as it's consistent and great content. Remember, quality over quantity. So that first episode, if you guys go listen to it, I was kind of nervous. I was like, kind of like, it was a lot of those, and yo, it happens, kind of like my boy says, it be like that sometimes. My boy Danye, he says that a lot, so which is kind of something that I've definitely caught on. I think that's a trend. People say that, it be like that sometimes, but it definitely be like that sometimes. That first episode was really rough for me, and I had a little bit of audio and visual issues. This is my first time doing it live. Like, I practice by myself, but once you're thrown into the fire, anything can go wrong. So the camera stopped recording on me 3 times. The audio levels were really bad. So now I kind of got it figured out. But the first episode, oh God, I had video issues. A lot of them. A lot. The lighting was bad. I had to do a lot of fixing of the picture, of the image quality. So thank you for listening and understanding my pain, because I want this product to be the most amazing product that I can produce. I know there's better content out there, but this is the best that I can, and it's only going to get better from here. I've had great episodes. The first one, Tabitha Ingle. Second one was actually number 2 with Harry Ruiz. I learned so much from it. Low-key, I think if I had to choose, that one was my favorite, just because I was not expecting him to say, yeah, my coworkers got kidnapped by the drug cartels. I love telling people that story because, I don't love it because it is not fun and it's a very scary situation. But like, when do you get to hear something like that? My coworkers got kidnapped. Oh my God. Like, to me, that was incredible. It's hearing his story and his struggle, his success, and how successful he ended up being, not only in Mexico, but also here in the United States. And then Jerry's my boy. I've been knowing him for such a long time. And I remember him, he had this little small camera back in college, and he ended up getting this bigger camera, not even intermediate, very beginner DSLR, which is like the big clunky cameras that take very great photos. And his photos were okay. And then now, if you follow his Instagram, his photos that he does, his photo shoots, like, yo, that's some professional quality shit right there. Like, I'm very impressed and low-key kind of jealous because I have a like very expensive camera that I don't know how to take photos on. I know how to do videography, but not photography. So that's something that I definitely have to learn. Then the next one, Michael Kloss, someone who lost weight running, someone who went across the country to pursue his career. That's a story that in my opinion, needed to be shared, because there's a lot of us that face that not problem, but are faced with that dilemma. And I know I too have been faced with that dilemma, not maybe across the country, but even out of state. Not too long ago, I had that, and I actually decided to stay here in my home, my birth city, Las Vegas. But are there things that I regret? Not really, but sometimes I do think, like, what if I did go to, so I'm gonna say, what if I did go to Long Beach? I had a great opportunity over there. Cost of living. Never mind, I'm good here. And then the last one, Sean Cook. His episode was really fun because I got to learn a lot, very informative, but I did notice, and I had a couple people, not a lot, but a couple people ask me, Gil, you sounded rushed. You sounded like you were losing focus. All right, guys, so let me tell you the truth. I fell off the edge of a mountain, and I cracked my head on the side, and that was with what I would say about 2 hours after that. So 2 hours before, I was bleeding from the side of my head. My arm was gushed open, and I was like, yo, the show must go on. Let's do this. And he's like, are you sure? I was like, yo, let's wear a hat and cover up my bruises. I mean, my injuries. Let's wear a long sleeve and let's do this. Also, let me sit on this side because this side of my face is nice and the other side is all beat up. But if I keep it on this side, especially if you watch the episode, you wouldn't have noticed. But oh my God, I was in pain. I didn't have a headache, but it was just one of those like, everything hurts. And I was, being clumsy and dumb and flipped over. But hey, things happen, and the show must go on, and it did go on. It was great information. To this day, I kind of want to go back and revisit that. The whole topic about guns is so fascinating because it's so big. And this whole time I was like, oh, guns are like what, $500? Hell no, 5,000, 7,000. And according to him, there's a couple $10,000 guns and even more. Sometimes there's ammo, just like one bullet costs $7. What the fuck? Hold up. What? I had no idea. So it was one of those episodes that I really learned a lot, and also about intermittent fasting, which I have tried. I just don't have the discipline for it, but it works. Like, I have other friends that are doing it and it works. But that's it about the podcast. You guys are bored. Like, oh, fuck, why am I listening to this? Why am I doing a recap of, why am I listening to a recap of the podcast? Well, I want to give you guys love just as you guys give me love and show my gratitude. But so because I am doing this solo, I actually want to take the time and do a little segment called Am I the Asshole? And this was actually inspired by the Just Kidding Film Squad, or what do they call it? Just Kidding News. So they have this series where they go on Reddit, and on Reddit there's a subreddit called Am I the Asshole, or shortened, abbreviated, AITA, and they have stories and and people do social commentary. So I was like, you know what? People didn't ask for my opinion, but fuck it, I'm gonna give them my opinion. So if you're watching this, I'm gonna put on my glasses. I look really nerdy, but because I can't read my screen. All right, so am I the asshole? All right, so you guys ready? Am I the asshole for calling out my sister after she brought my daughter a food scale? Just some background, my family is a bit larger. We are all pretty healthy people, but we are not naturally thin. Both my parents are bigger, I'm a bit bigger, and growing up, my sister was too. Now my sister works hard to fight being a bigger. I think she messed up. She eats like a rabbit and does pretty crazy workouts. People tend to look up to her for keeping her weight down and getting healthy. But from my perspective, she is constantly stressing herself out to maintain her appearance with all the running with all the running, etc. My daughter turned 14 a couple months ago and has been expressing distaste about her body for a while. She's a bit chubby like myself. It makes me sad, but I'm trying to teach her to love herself for who she is. I know that my words haven't gotten through her, as she has been going to my sister for advice. First was the at-home exercises and running. It is difficult to watch her beat herself up with these exercises. She claims to enjoy them, but I'm sure she wouldn't do them if she didn't want to be skinny like my sister. Then she started regularly complaining about the food that I prepare. I'm not a huge vegetable person, and neither is anyone else in our family. I'm not going to waste money on it. It has led to many arguments between us. The final straw was when I opened up a package that turned out to be a food scale for my daughter. My sister bought it for her. My daughter told me that since I will continue to make her eat unhealthy food, her aunt told her to weigh it out so she doesn't eat too much. I immediately confronted my sister about it. She is trying to push her lifestyle's habit onto my daughter. I'm trying to teach her to love herself and not spend mental energy fighting biology. She tried to blame me for making my daughter unhealthy in the first place. She claims to be trying to help. Just because my daughter can't run a mile and do the difficult exercises she does to maintain her weight doesn't mean she's not healthy. I hung up with my sister and went to post on Facebook about her buying my young daughter a scale and encouraging her to weigh her food. People look up to her, and I think everyone should know what she pushes young women to hate their... Wait, what? I think everyone should know that she pushes young women to hate their bodies. My post received a ton of criticism, and some people even think I'm an asshole for trying to tarnish my sister's image and for refusing to let my daughter try to lose weight. From my perspective, I'm not trying to spread awareness about what she is doing. Someone recommend that I post it here. Am I the asshole for telling everyone that my sister got my daughter a food scale, or is she for getting her one in the first place? Just to respond to everyone, we are not obese. We are just a bit taller and a bit chubby. Maybe a little bit overweight. We may not run and stuff, but we do other activities like enjoy like gardening, swimming, walking, etc. You don't need to be able to run to be healthy. Am I the asshole? I chose this one specifically because those that know my story, I lost a ton of weight. Some of it by myself, the rest of it, I'm covering the camera, and some of it with assistance. There are a couple things that I have an issue with this. The main issue is, how do I say this? The main issue is the age, 14. That's the main issue. But at the same time, I grew up being overweight my entire life. I seen pictures of me as like a 3-year-old, and I just look like a red kickball. I see pictures of myself and when I'm 10 years old, and I just look like an oversized brown kickball. Then I saw pictures when I was 21, and I look like an oversized whale. Okay, so I've always been round. I've always been big. I think, in my personal opinion, if I was given the opportunity to redo and maybe change my life at a very young age, I don't think that I would be in the bad situation that I was at. I don't agree with the whole of micromanaging what you eat at such a young age, but also I don't agree with not eating vegetables. I don't agree with by not eating healthy foods. That's a tough one. My whole thing is you gotta eat a well-balanced. You have to have a well-balanced diet. Include a couple vegetables. You don't have to weigh everything. Everything can be based on portion control. Have a little bit of vegetables, your protein, your starches, your carbs, whatever you may call it. But I think it should be very well balanced. Now, the issue is not having a well-balanced diet. The issue in this is her sister pushing her own lifestyle onto her daughter. I don't think it's bad. maybe to the extreme that she's doing, making her maybe feel self-conscious might be the bad thing, but pushing a very active and healthy lifestyle is nothing, in my opinion, is nothing wrong. I wish I had that. I wish I was I don't think skinny, but I just wish I was the athletic. I'm gonna take up my glasses. I hate wearing my glasses. I wish I was the athletic kid. Even if I was big, I knew some big guys that were athletic. I mean, they were on the football team and they did everything, That's what I wish I was, Going now, I can be that guy. But back then, oh, absolutely not. I was, always the biggest kid, the overweight kid. Eventually became the morbidly obese. And then I became like, the offspring of a fucking whale. But I do wish that I had that, the push for healthy foods and healthy diet choices and even exercising. It can be fun. Running, it is fun. Like I do a little bit of running. The reason I hate it because my knees hurt. So I picked up another sport, which is biking. I love biking. My knees don't hurt. My lower back might hurt a little bit, but again, it's all about form. But I love biking and I work up a sweat. If I had that growing up, if I found an exercise that I love doing and it made me maintain a healthy lifestyle, absolutely sign me up, sign my kid up. And that's something that I think about the future. Like, hey, am I going to live? I'm not saying that I lived a bad life. Absolutely not. But again, being Mexican, you're always going to get second servings. You're always going to get food. You're always too skinny. And it's something when you're not, okay? You're always too skinny when you're not. And that was me. Oh, are you hungry? No. Okay, here's more food. Thank you. And you eat it. But I definitely would want to advocate a more healthy lifestyle and weighing your food. That's a tough one. I think at a very young age, I wouldn't weigh food, but I would promote a more healthy lifestyle or even promote portion control. Yes, having a scale makes it so much easier for portion control, but just usually you use a scale if you're trying to pursue a certain body. And that's what I think. I might be wrong. And I say this because I used to use a scale. And that was because my diet was, I have to eat a little bit more. Or some days if I'm working out, I have to eat a little bit less. And I lost so much weight off that, just measuring how much food I would be eating. But it had to be certain foods at certain weights, others other weights, That was just to achieve the goal that I put for myself. Hence why I say to achieve a goal, yes, use a scale, but I don't know what type of fitness goal a 14-year-old has. But to promote a healthy lifestyle without a weight, I would say go for it. Eat vegetables. Argue. Fuck it. Have an argument. But I would really say eat vegetables. I mean, it sounds so weird. Yeah, make sure you eat your vegetables and your vitamins. Come on, guys. Is she the asshole? Yes, I think she is the asshole for putting her sister on blast on Facebook and now Reddit. Luckily, you kind of get to hide your identity on Reddit, but I definitely think she was the asshole. Is the scale wrong? Not really. It's just not the most appropriate thing to give a child. I think the best way to go about it is promote a healthy lifestyle. Both the sister, moderate it. Towards the kid and also the family. If you guys are known to be a bit taller and a bit chunky and a bit chubby, well, are you healthy? Probably. But do you look good? Maybe. Do you feel good? Probably not. So, these are things that it just depends on your fitness goals, in my opinion. For a 14-year-old, I wouldn't use a scale. I would really promote I think I would just promote in the household a more healthier lifestyle. And that concludes our Am I the Asshole that concludes the first part of the Am I the Asshole segment, because I thought I was going to talk a little bit more on that one, but that's pretty simple. Is she the asshole? Absolutely, for putting her sister on blast. But also her sister should not give the kid a scale at such a young age. If she was 18, absolutely go for it. But 14, That's a little bit tough, the scale. But yeah, all right. So let's go on to the next one. Am I the asshole for breaking bro code and having a hand in the end of my friend's relationship? Oh God. Oh God. My close friend and I are dating two girls that are also close friends. Oh shit. Damn. I'm all getting nervous. I don't even know these people. I'm like, oh God, that sounds like a recipe for disaster. All right. When it comes to relationship, my friend is a psycho. He made her delete every guy off her Snapchat. He has her location and her Instagram login and her Snapchat login. What the fuck? Oh my, okay. He has zero trust for her, cusses her out all the time. She can't do anything without asking his approval first, not even going out with her parents. He doesn't even let her wear shorts outside. She has to filter everything she says because he takes everything the wrong way and cusses her out. She's been very patient for the past 6 months. They were dating, but the entire 6 months they fought a lot every single day. Of course, I knew about everything because my girl would tell me and my friend would tell me. I'm also friends with my girl's close friend too, and I care about her. Basically, her life is hell and she has to censor everything she says and has anxiety 99% of the time because he cusses her out if she doesn't answer his call right away or doesn't respond to his text within 2 minutes. I felt really bad, so I had to talk with her and my girl. They came to me for advice. I didn't insert myself. And basically, I told her that he's not going to change, and if she can't handle this for the next 6 months and the 6 months after that, then she should break up with him. And that same night, after talking to me, she did break up with him. I feel like shot. I think he messed up. But I'm happy for her because the relationship was ruining this girl and my friend too. He would get really crazy. I just feel bad for helping because it caused pain. Am I the asshole for breaking bro code? What the fuck did I just read? Bro code? I mean, I'm all for bro code, but this is not bro code. This is an abusive, horrible relationship to be in for the girl. Absolutely not. Fuck bro code. It's all about human decency. I don't think okay, I got kind of heated on this. If you did not push for that breakup to occur, I think what you broke is the human decency code. Like if you see this is so toxic, then this is just horrible. I don't think any person should ever go through a relationship like this. And it goes both ways. I don't think that nobody in this world deserves abuse from their partner, whether if it's a guy or a girl. I know it sounds like I'm all about equality, but I just think human decency at the end of the day is across the board. What the fuck did I just read? Like, there is no bro code. I mean, first of all, how is this guy your friend? Okay, that is the first question. This guy is your friend. He abuses verbally and maybe mentally. And God knows if he physically abuses his partners, that is horrible. That is a horrible friend to have. I'm surprised he doesn't do that to you, to be honest. Like, this is a very toxic person that honestly needs help. He has issues and insecurities about himself. Come on. What the Guys, this is a harsh reality. Like, I read an article about 2 weeks ago about domestic violence at an all-time high, or actually just rising ever since quarantine happened. Do you know what that means? That means that people are fighting in their own homes, and usually domestic violence occurs when the man abuses the woman. Usually. Not all the time, but usually. That really angers me. I don't think that a person should ever lay their hands on anyone else. I don't care if you're a girl punching a man or a man punching a girl or a woman. I'm sorry. A woman punching a man or a man punching a woman. That is unacceptable. And it kind of pains me knowing that this is what he writes, that the bro, the friend would verbally abuse Oh, sorry, I'm kind of heated. Would verbally abuse his girlfriend. Imagine behind closed doors. Imagine the things that aren't spoken of. I mean, I really hope nothing happened, but just imagine that. I mean, nah, I think this is no bro code. Bro code was broken. Fuck the bro code. That's stupid. I mean, this was right from the get go. Like I was like, oh, well, I thought before I even read it, because I only looked at the title. I was like, oh, this is pretty good. Let's not read it. Let's have a genuine reaction. I thought the bro code was like, hey, I broke up. I convinced my bro's girlfriend to break up with him, and now I'm dating her. I really thought that was gonna be the am I the asshole post, but it just went south and it went really dark. That is nothing that I recommend. If you are out there, sorry, like I don't know, my body's going through something right now. Like I got heated, but if you are out there and you're going through something like that, please reach out. And confide in someone. I know it's scary. It's easier said than done, and I don't want to be very preachy, but it's a harsh reality. And it's ever since that episode, that article that I read, domestic violence going up. That's scary, because there's no escape. Like where do you go? Things are closed. You can't leave the house. You're stuck with people. So I don't want to end on a negative note. I do apologize. I know my podcast is always about the struggles and success, and I always want to be positive, but let's try to make this positive. This story went south, and I was not ready for that. Normally, I wouldn't mind, but I personally was not ready for this to go a little bit south like that. But yo, damn guys. Okay, so. I'm kind of at shock for words, but okay. So there's something that I want to talk about, and it'll be the last thing. I miss sports, guys. I definitely miss sports. I don't play sports. I don't bet on sports. I don't have like my favorite sports team. I have a favorite soccer team. But actually, we'll talk about soccer. Soccer is back in Germany. Woo, woo, woo. So we got some club sports back at it again. So I'm super excited about that. Some sports are coming back, but I definitely miss sports. I miss, okay, at the end of the day, for me, I know a little bit more about soccer. You can play soccer without fans, but we are the 12th man. I mean, I say we because I'm in the stands. I'm part of the stands. I don't just watch the game. I provide an experience in the game. I'm part of La Porra, which is the supporter group, as Americans call it, La Porra, La Barra, whatever you want to call it. We are the people in the stands with the smoke bombs, the flares, the drums. We are constantly singing. So, for example, I can Los Angeles. I'll do Los Angeles. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. Los Angeles. So, I mean, we do that constantly. Mexico does their own thing. Dale, dale, tricolor. Dale, dale. Oh, fuck, I forgot the... dale tricolor, dale tricolor, dale tricolor. Oh, tricolor. I mean, these are songs that we do in soccer. Like I miss that so much. Not just watching the game of soccer, but being part of a soccer game. And even in Vegas, dale, 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 Vegas Lights. Like I missed that. Like that was so much fun. Watching it on TV is great, but being in the stands, for me, I know more about soccer. It's a culture that most people have not experienced and don't know, because yes, you can go to a game and sit on your seat and clap and maybe get up when something happens. In soccer, there are those people. There's nothing wrong. But in soccer, though, there are those fans, and there's a section specifically for them where we get rowdy. We are loud. We have smoke bombs. Yeah, fuck it. Sometimes we even fight. That's what I miss. And I can't wait for all this to be over and for my group, for us, those that love sports get to be those that love soccer get to be the 12th man once again in the stands. And that goes also for any other sport, because I know I am a season ticket holder for the Las Vegas Golden Knights, which is our professional hockey team. Yes, we're not standing, also because it's not proper hockey etiquette. But I miss, like, when people score a goal or something interesting happens, you get up and you're like, oh, go Knights, go. You're just going crazy. I miss that. So I can't wait for sports to come back. I mean, the only thing that I'll say is Club America for soccer, and even then, I get a lot of heat for it. A lot of heat. And LAFC for the MLS. Those are, and obviously Mexico. Soccer is my sport. I know everyone has a sport out there and they have a team, or they have various different teams for every sport. Fortunately, that's not me, but I miss sports. I can't wait for them to come back. I can't wait to be in the stands for anything, whether it be baseball, hockey, football, soccer. Just bring it in. Also, wrestling. I love wrestling. And luckily, actually, wrestling has not been affected. They still wrestle every week. They put on a show, but without fans. Fans and the reaction, oh, boo, whoa, like that gives you a sense of importance. Like, oh, this is important. People are booing. People are excited. It gives that pop. It's not the same, but hey, we're getting some sort of entertainment. Those that love wrestling, those that love sports, we're getting something. I know UFC just had their fight too, without fans. That was interesting, but hopefully I want to wish everybody positive vibes. That sounds so cliche, but I want to wish everyone positive vibes, good health. Be safe out there, guys. Stay clean. Wash your hands. You guys know, again, thank you so much for listening, guys. Yeah, I'm saying a lot of ums right now, but thank you so much for listening. That really means a lot to me. Make sure, if you're watching on YouTube, comment, subscribe, smash that like button if you're watching, if you're listening to the audio version on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts. Thank you so much, guys. I think I'm going to end this episode on that. I'm out. Oh! Okay, no. All right. I got really excited. I was like, let me go back to the soccer vibes. I miss them so much. All right, guys. For real, though. On that, I'm out.